Yeah, so I wanted to come on here and talk about the Jersey City situation. It happened like what, almost a week ago now, and I'm just like at a loss at why the media coverage is so stupid. It's stupid. Like a lot of the information is coming out. It's information. It's information that we need, but stupid people make it seem something that it's not. Like you trying to say that it was about black supremacy and blah blah blah. Like it's a bunch of racist people who's taking this and running with the shit. Like, oh, two black people shot up a store. Y'all white people shoot up a whole bunch of different stores all the fucking time. Y'all shoot up schools, but we don't generalize all of y'all. We don't generalize all of y'all. It's a certain type of person that we generalize when it comes to white people. It's that type. It's that white person that just decides to sit in a corner by themselves, and we know that they have problems. And it's not just that person. It's everybody across all races that we generalize like that. Okay. I've been in school too. I've been that person, first of all. I've been that person who's been sitting in the back of the class and has been told that they might shoot up the school, that I might shoot up the school because I want to sit in the corner by myself. Okay? Now, I don't know why people just decide to make stupid comments like, oh, this is about black supremacy. First of all, black supremacy doesn't exist. It does not exist. I don't know why people keep saying that. It does not exist. Like, when it comes to this situation, people need to take the right approach to information. You need to understand what you're reading, completely get all of the facts, okay? And then make a decision on what you need to be speaking on. And as far as the situation goes, uh, ain't nobody in Jersey City that's gonna be like that. If those two people came from anywhere, it was not Jersey City. It was not Jersey City. I live here. I can tell you that right now. Ain't nobody in Jersey City. You don't like somebody, you're gonna go kill them, not a whole bunch of people in one area. Okay? And whoever these two people were, and they chose to do that store, they clearly were planning on doing something to a lot of different Jews. Jersey City is just one of the smallest places. One of the smallest places where you can find Jewish people. Okay? And I could get into the history of those type of people this entire time because they're not Jews. They're not Jews. I could say this right now. They're not Jews. They're Pharisees. The Pharisees were not Jews. They were not Jews. The Pharisees were people who were against Christ. These people who calling themselves Jews, they're not Jews. They come from the Pharisees. Okay? If you don't know that, you need to do some research. Okay? They come from the Pharisees. They come from a whole bunch of different people from back when Christ was crucified. Okay? They don't even recognize him as a Messiah. You notice that shit? Jesus was the first Jew, and they don't recognize him as a Messiah? Okay, thank you. But, like, that might have been a little controversial, but whatever. It's just like, y'all people need to get y'all shit together. Like, for real. Y'all need to get y'all shit together. Because people who running with the news talking about, oh, black people this and black people that, like, first of all, you need to understand, they said one person had connections to the black Hebrew Israelite movement. The black Hebrew Israelite movement is not an anti-Semitic movement. It's not an anti-Semitic movement. It's not anti-anything, first of all. It's just telling you that some of the things that you're being taught are lies. I don't sympathize with them because I don't associate with them. It's just that you need to do your history homework. You need to do homework on history before you go and think something is concrete because somebody else is telling you that. I mean, I'm a great big supporter on being wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that everything I'm saying is true. It's not. I could be wrong. It's like I would love to be proved wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because then it gives me another reason to go find more evidence, more truth into what I believe. That's all. If I'm being proved wrong and I believe that if what I believe is wrong and somebody is telling me that I'm wrong and it's evidence to believe that I'm wrong, I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going to go look for something to prove that I'm going to be right. That proves that my what I believe isn't entirely wrong, but it's a facet of the truth in something I believe. Straight like that. You know what I'm saying? So for y'all need to completely just dissect the situation first. They like, oh, all of this evidence that's come out saying that it was black people. First of all, I have not seen the evidence. So I've not seen evidence of them being connected besides what they're saying. We don't see text messages. We don't see emails. We don't see a video of the guy standing with this so-called Black Hebrew Israelite movement, any group a part of this movement at all. You don't know the person from anywhere. And they talking about, oh, the neighbors. Okay, do you not know that neighbors can be pulled from anywhere and being called neighbors? Because you don't know the person. You don't know them. You don't know them. The audience doesn't know them. The media doesn't know them. So you can pull literally two people from the side of the street who don't give a fuck about these people and tell them what to say, and then they could say whatever. And then roll with it. I've done that before. Come on now. I've done that shit before. Like, I've never been on TV, but what I'm saying is I've done that shit before. Like, the truth behind everything needs to be sorted out before you can just start believing everything. Before you believe anything, you need to question everything. And that's just straight facts. You need to question everything before you believe anything. Question it all. Like, even the shit that you know is for a fact is true. Question it. Because at the same time, every time you just follow behind what you already know, you miss certain things in what you already know that'll point you in the right direction, and you just walking in the wrong direction following stupid shit. That wasn't even supposed you wasn't even supposed to be walking in that direction in the first place, but yet you already skipped over what you already know. That's why y'all asses be missing some shit, because you don't go back and listen to what you already know. You don't go back and question what you already know to find out all of the grains of truth in a situation. Now, when you go through this situation again, we got to go back to it. So let's go through this situation, right? What we know. We know that these two people, whoever they were, they had certain beliefs. And these certain beliefs, somehow, some way, caused enough hate in them to go and attack other people. Because this isn't just a Jewish isolated incident because a Mexican person was killed in that store. This isn't just a Jewish isolated incident. Because if that was the case, there's a whole temple down the street. There's a whole temple way down the block where Jewish people go to. There's a couple of temples in Jersey City that they could have went to if they wanted to kill Jewish people. So this had them. They had enough hate in their heart to go and kill another person. That's not shocking. That's not surprising because we've seen that all day, every day, in every part of the country. Now, we know for a fact that these two people have a relationship. Okay, so the girl was being dragged along by the guy, or the guy was being dragged along by the girl, because certain situations go that way. And they pulled up in a van, got out with what sounded like heavy artillery when it wasn't. It was just a semi-automatic pistol, so they say. And they clearly had enough ammo to go back and forth with the police, the entire police department. But seeing as how I live in Jersey City, let me tell you some shit. Okay, I don't know if everybody knows this. A lot of people in Jersey City knows this, but I don't know if the media covered it yet. However, that store wasn't the only place to get shot at. It wasn't. That store was the beginning. It wasn't the end, and it wasn't the middle. It was the beginning. Okay, because when they pulled up to that store, right, at the same time that this shootout was happening, another place door got shot in. Like it was a glass door. They shot it in, and it was actually down the block from where the shooting was taking place. They ran, whoever was there. They ran all the way down the block being Grant, and shot up a building there. Then the police officers in their video voice recordings or whatever that the mainstream media showed, it was a police officer who said that there looked to be a high-powered weapon down the block. Then somehow they managed to get on the roof. Now, I've been in that store. There is a way up to the roof, but it's hard to spot. It's hard to spot. Okay. As we go through this, we're learning something. There was a high-powered weapon down the block during this time of the shooting, and then there was another shooting also down the block, down Grant, going straight down Grant. And this tells me that if the two suspects were being in a shootout with the police officers during this time, how the hell was there a high-powered rifle or whatever the hell it was, a phone, whatever? Like, they said it could have been a phone, but there's no way it was a phone. There's no way it was a phone if a police officer was, whatever. A phone does not look like a rifle. Let's be very careful. Let's be very real about that. A phone does not look like a rifle, right? They said that there was somebody jumping from roof to roof. And then the media also said that somebody was running. They were running from somewhere. There's no exit. There's no back exit to that store. So my question is, if the two suspects were in here, right, where's this third shooting coming from? What happened? Why? And where's this third shooting coming from? There was a third spot. There had to be a third person. There was a bomb threat in multiple places in Jersey City. I don't know if they told y'all that yet, but there was a bomb threat in multiple different parts of the city. In a place called Bayside Park in Jersey City, there was a bomb found there. This is what's being spread or shared around Jersey City. There was a bomb threat around the place. I don't know if the media plans to cover that, but yeah, there was a bomb found there. There was one found by the college in JC. There was one found in that area as well. So this wasn't an isolated terror attack. If this was a terror attack, it wasn't isolated. It wasn't isolated in one area. It was just stopped in one area. What we witnessed was the police department actually catching up with them, actually catching them before they could do whatever they had planned. Um, and there was a white guy that escaped the store. He got shot, but he was able to run out of the store and down the block to safety. So I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm really confused. Because if he got shot, he was able to leave. And they kept shooting at everybody else who was in the store. Why would you, if this was an isolated attack on Jewish people, so-called Jewish people, why would you shoot the Mexican guy in there? Why would you shoot him? Was he in the way? He couldn't have been in the way. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't have been an accidental shooter. Couldn't have been an accident. You know, like, oh, bullets don't have a name for anybody. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But the weapon he had was small. It wasn't high powered. It was semi-automatic, meaning you could shoot multiple times, but it won't shoot on its own. You don't just hold the trigger. You have to repeatedly pull it. And you can pull it. Semi-automatic means that you can pull it faster and the bullets will come out faster. That's all that means, that you'll shoot the bullets a little faster than a regular bullet, a regular gun. Semi-automatic means that you can shoot multiple bullets in less time than another gun could. But it won't, you don't just hold the trigger like any high-powered rifle and it'll just shoot. I said high-powered, I'm sorry, automatic weapon. And it'll just shoot on its own. Now, if they had a semi-automatic pistol with adjustments, because clearly they were smart enough to make adjustments to the gun, you have to have aim with a semi-automatic weapon. Less aim than a normal weapon, but more, but you know, like some type of aim. You got to be aiming for somebody. Moral of the story, I just don't like when people racialize or jump to conclusions with no real hard evidence. You have none. You have absolutely no evidence that this man that the guy in the store had any connection to the black Hebrew Israelites at all. You have absolutely no evidence whatsoever that the woman was involved with these people. You have absolutely no evidence that this was a specific attack against Jewish people. Oh, we have a manifesto. Manifestos can be written. You know, police have planted evidence all the fucking time. And the Jewish people, so-called Jewish people, have proven powerful enough to fake crimes. They have. They've proven powerful enough time and time again that they have faked crimes. I just wanted to speak my mind a little bit because everybody's talking about the situation, and yet there are so many people out there who don't truly understand what's going on in the situation, and they don't want to know why the media is saying what they're saying. I don't believe for a second that this had anything to do with the Black Hebrew Israelite movement whatsoever. I just think that, actually, honestly, before the story even came out, that it was, you know, those two people, I'm not even gonna get into no clout, like, no names from me, bitch. That those two were responsible, I was a little shocked. I was shocked because they made it seem like it was a terroristic attack. And usually terroristic attacks come from different types of people. I'm going to say that. Because you usually don't see black people commit a terroristic crime. You really don't. Like, you don't. You usually don't. Like, every time you see somebody being called a terrorist, more times than not, they're white or Eastern, Middle Eastern. And I said being called a terrorist. Being called a terrorist. I didn't say that they actually committed it. I'm saying that they're being called a terrorist. Because there's them people out there that's like, oh, he's racist. No, bitch, I'm not racist. It's just that I'm telling you what's real. Most of the time, it's a white person or a Middle Eastern person committing a fucking terroristic attack. Because the Boston bombers were fucking white. They were white and they were Canadian. They were white. What else do you need to know? They were white. Like, it's crazy. Because most of the time, black people are raised with a certain type of no, say what you want about black parenting, okay? But black parenting teaches our kids not to do stupid shit. Like, we teach the kids not to go out and be doing something that they shouldn't be doing. If they're going out doing anything that they shouldn't be doing, it's mostly related to sex, or like stupid crimes like stealing. That's the worst that I can possibly think of, like stealing. With the exception of gangsters, because I know a lot of y'all gonna bring up the gangsters and they're gonna be like, they're gonna bring up the gangsters and be like, oh well, what about all these black kids being gangsters? At the most, the kids that become gangbangers, they don't have parental guidance. I'm gonna say that again for the people that don't understand. They don't have parental guidance most of the time, because most of the time it's either somebody they know, they're rejecting their parents' guidance, or they were raised by somebody that is not a parent to them. Because black people go through the foster care system too. Black people go through the foster care system too. They were raised by somebody that does not care about them, and then they find themselves out on the street because they done dropped out of school, or not even. They don't even have to drop out of school. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes school dropouts don't even go and deal with gangbangers. Sometimes they just get into their life. But for a teen, for a child, specifically a black child, to go out there and do something so outrageous, they got to be in a completely different headspace than most of us. They got to be in some real stuff, something real. Like, they got to be on the verge of going to jail type real. Like, my parents about to die or some shit like that. It takes a lot to push a black person to do something so outrageous. It does. It takes a lot. They either got to be insane, or something ain't right up there. Something's not right up here. Up in the brain. It's not up. It's something ain't right. Because any self-respecting and perfectly sane black person wouldn't even think twice, even if they were mad about certain things, and even if they did have a racist hate in their heart. It takes a lot. It takes a lot, because a lot of black people are afraid of the system. A lot of black people are afraid of the system, and they rather avoid it than go through it. They rather walk around it than go through it. You know, because for a black person, going through the system is a life journey, not a 2, 4, 5 second fucking thing for most white people that most white people be going through. It's not a 2, 3, 4, 5 1-page document that don't say shit, but do you want to get out, yes or no, and you check yes and put the shit in, and you go free forever. Your record is expunged and all that extra from that 1 page of you checking just fucking yes. Compared to the shit that black people go through, white people don't do. Compared to the shit that black people go through, white people go through basically just checking yes or no on a fucking piece of paper. To be truthfully honest with you. White people out there, this is not that type of video. So I'm not even gonna go into that right now. This is not that type of video, because I could go on for hours about that, but this is not that video. I'll make that video, but not right now. It is time for me to go do my job. So yes, bitch, I'm black and I have a job. Yes, I do. So bye.